Hi all, thanks for coming here. I'm Aditya. I hope you all are feeling refreshed after a meal and a coffee. So please bear with me for the next 30 minutes. Uh, Maybe you can take something out of it. I'll try my best to do. So the today's session, today's topic is I'll be giving. Yeah. So I'll be giving a brief but hopefully a fruitful session on supercharging your docs with React plus Markdoc. So let me give an introduction about me first. I am a senior software engineer in the marketplace teams at Freshworks. I joined Freshworks in 2022. I love solving the developer experience side of problems, and I mean, I like all the developer side of things, may it be the CLI, may it be the documentation and everything. So let me give you the agenda of this session. So first we'll talk about the why and how we got here, why Markdoc. And the latter, I will show you building custom components and layouts with React. So, and the last, I'll tell you how we leveraged Markdoc to solve the documentation problem. So, past is prologue, which means that history sets the context of the present. Now, when I say this, we need to understand how we got here. It is important to understand where we started. So, Freshworks was known as Freshdesk previously. It had only one product. So, one product, one documentation website, developer is happy. Now, as the products grew exponentially, there were multiple websites which were formed for the documentation for each product. Now, you can see in the slide itself, for Freshdesk developer, we had a separate website. For Fresh Service, Fresh Chat, Fresh Caller, all different websites. Now, as a developer, if I want to build even a small feature, we all know how much we hate reading the documentation. Now, if I want to build something, I need to have it r- right out of the box and I need to have it at my fingertips. So that was the one reason. Second is we use the legacy tech stack and a complex authoring experience. So the legacy documentation platform that we replaced was a monolithic Ruby application mixed with HTML and the middleman server. So writers actually have to write the documentation content in the HTML files. And we know how much tech writers hate that. Now, before coming to Markdoc, we went through a couple of options. We went through Redoc, Docly, Swagger, then WordPress, Stoplight, and even Hashnode. But none of these platforms fit into our expectations. So in the end, Markdoc won the documentation showdown. So what is this buzz about the Markdoc? What is Markdoc? So as the name suggests, Markdoc is an extension of the Markdown. Now, how many of you know Markdown? So Markdown is a simple markup language. You write a plain text which get converted to the HTML. Or even while raising PRs in GitHub, you might have seen they are also using the Markdown. Now, Markdoc is a Markdown-based document format and a framework for content publishing. It was designed internally at Stripe to meet the needs of user-facing product documentation. Now it is open source; anyone can use it. Now, what is the essence of Markdoc? So it decouples the code and the content. So the tech writers or authors or the devrels will only take care of writing the content, not coding the content. Coding and everything, the front end developers or the UI developers will take care of. Now, this custom authoring format, it extends Markdown with a custom syntax. Okay, so basically, it is you can call it as a superset of Markdown with few of its features like nodes and tags. Okay, these are some of the features I'll explain. So nodes are the elements which are inherited from the Markdown itself. Okay, so in the Markdown, how do you write heading. You just put a hashtag in front of it, and that becomes a heading. Now, even to embed a link in doc, you just put the content in the square bracket and the link in the circle brackets. Okay, so these are the nodes which are already there in the Markdoc. You use them as they are, or you can customize them as your own React components. Now, the second part where the magic comes is the tags. So, tags are the syntactic sugar provided by Markdoc. So, how will you identify a tag in Markdoc? So, it is basically enclosed in a curly braces percentage smile. Then you will have the tag name, the attribute, and the content. So in here, you can see the callout tag. Okay. Now that callout tag, the callout is the name of the tag. The type is the attribute of the tag. And in the middle, there is content. And you can see how it is rendered. Okay. Now, next, I will explain like building the custom components and layouts using React. So Markdoc has a modular rendering system which supports multiple format outputs. Now, these custom tags can be configured to output React components. Now, similarly, you can term this custom tag as your React component, where the callout is the name of your React component and the attribute is the prop you're passing to a React component. Okay. Now, this custom React components can be assigned to standard Markdown document nodes, example like headings and paragraphs as well. So Markdoc basically gives the developer the ability to customize the way he wants or customize the way the design system wants it to. So the tech writer's job will be only to embed those tags, write the content, and not to worry about the code. Next, I'll give you a small demo or an example about how you can create a custom tag. It is very simple. Now, you can see the card.tsx file. It is our normal JSX component. Okay, it has some props like title, children, and the button title. Now, how will I embed this in the Markdoc file as a tag? For that, we have a card.markdoc.ts file. For every tag, you will have the name, then dot markdoc and dot your extension. Now, for this file, first you'll have to give which React component you want to render as this tag. Now, for here, we are rendering the card React component. Now, a little description. In the children, you can specify what kind of children the Markdoc tag will enclose. In the attributes are nothing. You can treat them as your props. Here also, you can add a discipline to your attributes where you can specify the type of the attribute, the description for the our own understanding or the tech writer's understanding. And lastly, if you want some default values, that also you can set. Now, the third thing is embedding it into your .md file, which is nothing but a markdown file. So in the .md file, you can see the tag name is card, title has some value, the link has some value, and the button title has some value. Okay. And in the end, you can see the output of the card. Now, this is a custom React component which is embedded in a Markdoc. So I have just scratched the surface. With Markdoc, you can design your own, design systems, layouts, and everything. So next we'll talk about how we leverage the doc to solve the documentation problem. So we wanted to shift from the docs as code philosophy, where the tech writers actually have to come and write the HTML to render the documentation or to show the documentation. It is a very tedious process. We know now we wanted to shift this philosophy to docs as data. Now the tech writers or the authors or the devrels will only take care of writing the content, make the UI as interactive as possible. because we will be providing them with the components they are going to use. Now, next was we already had a developer website in React and Next.js. Our next job was to just couple this documentation website because Markdoc gives out of the box support for React and Next. The third part is we built more than 40 plus components, which the authors can use to as per their need. I'll just take some time to show you how our current documentation website looks. So you saw how previously the documentation was done. We had for Freshdesk, we had a different website. For Fresh Service, we had a different website. Now everything comes under the same umbrella. And trust me, every component in this has been built with Markdoc. Now, if I want to check the app SDK documentation, I'll just click this left sidebar, this this image and everything is a custom Markdoc tag. I'll show you what are the different Markdoc tags that have been already been used. Now here you can see on the right hand side, there is one code snippet. So that code snippet is also a Markdoc tag, which is built with an aside tag. So if you scroll the content, it sticks to the top so that the developer can read the documentation while looking at the code. We have the tab, which is also built as a Markdoc tag. Then we have the object tables, which have the expandable attributes. And this is one sample Markdoc starter file, which is already present in their repo. You can go and just check this out. To show you a small example, like let's say the tech writer comes to me and says, Aditya, I don't want that button to be blue. Give me some options. Okay. So uh, what I'll do is in the card.mark.ts, I'll add one more component, more attribute. Sorry, button color. Sorry, it's very hard to type with a single. I'll give the type as string. Okay, description will for now. Now in the card.tsx, need to have it as a prop first. In order to change the background color of the button, I'll set as a prop and the name of that attribute. Hello, hello, yeah. So the next part is adding it to my markdown file. So this is the index.md file. I'll just add the button color now here. Previously it was blue. Now let's say I want it as red. You can see the button color is changed now. So similarly, we can give small attributes and even document this in your readme.md file so that you will make the author's life. So as you can see in the image, the product teams are happy, the tech writers are happy because we have the unified documentation solution. Now, these are some snippets about the website, which is currently using Markdoc tags. You can see how the components are reused. Now, previously the tutorials were dispersed. We were using Google's Code Labs, which has come to TTL. Now, these all the custom tags are uh, built to cater the needs of the let's say DevRels, authors. And the same thing they are using to make different landing pages. Now, this is a landing page for unified sample apps. Now, no one would trust me if I tell them this has been built by a tech writer because due to the power of Markdoc tags. So the reuse of the components. Now in the developer website, apart from the documentation, the Markdoc tags have been reused as for the marketing needs as well. So for the previous events, or we have a event page to show the slider. They are using the Markdoc tag, which makes our life very easy. Now we'll go to the question and answer session. But before going to that, let me tell you something about the Freshworks developer program. Now we have more than 65,000 of customer base. If you are really really enthusiastic in building apps, you can scan this QR, register to the Freshworks developer program, and basically we have a paid apps program going. So you will build apps for the Freshworks products and get revenue out of it. So based on the downloads and everything, you will generate the revenue out of it. And join the growing developer network. So that's all from my side. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Yes.